For those who do not know, video game columnist Jim fucking Sterling's son has been butting heads with independent game developer Digital Homicide for the past year and a half, originating from a video recording of Sterling playing an early Digital Homicide game, The Slaughtering Grounds, in late 2014. It's a shoddy FPS game in which the assets were pre-made. Sterling was playing it and had nothing good to say about it. Digital Homicide took that video and started insulting him with text over it. And now there's a bunch of backlash towards Digital Homicide among the Steam community. Homicide went on to make many more games under several different aliases, which Sterling reviewed also. There was even a 90-minute chat session in which Sterling invited co-founder Robert Roman to shoot the air of the problems with the games, to no avail. Now Homicide is seeking funds for a lawyer to sue Sterling for $10 million, claiming that he ruined the Digital Homicide's business and reputation. Without even knowing who is behind Digital Homicide, I could easily tell that this is the work of one or two people. Two brothers in this case. That explains a lot. It explains why people think their games lack quality, it explains why they think it's okay to go ahead and retaliate against Jim Sterling, and it explains the frivolous lawsuit. If this was a group of people making this game, there would be no war going on, because if there would ever be a time where one member of the team wants to lash out, somebody with the common decency would talk him out of it. Don't take it personally when somebody calls your game shit. No other developers from 200-man teams that make AAA games to one individual do. I do feel sorry for the Romans in a way. They're getting more negative attention than they should. They gotten death threats, feces in the mail. Nobody deserves that just for trying to make a game on Steam. I sympathize with them for that. They're starting out, they're trying to make games for a living, and they don't have much money. It's very hard trying to make money developing video games, especially when video games have pretty big budgets. The problem here though, is that they just do the bare minimum, and that is almost all the time unacceptable. You can't expect to breeze by with developing a game and think it's going to make you a bunch of money and people will like it. That's not how it works. You have to spend money to make money. The fact that you worked so hard on it and poured your heart into it isn't enough to win the customers over. Games have to work, they have to look appealing, and they have to be fun. And many indie developers take a year or two to get to just that. Sometimes you must sacrifice time and money to achieve better results. The Romans could have hired a programmer, a musician, a designer, anybody, even if it was a friend of theirs, and one element of their games could greatly improve. I don't however fault them for using other assets, because they're made by other developers trying to make money as well, but you have to structure a plan out and describe the game on paper as how you want it to be by the time you're done with it. Even though you're not making money until you release the game, people will start to appreciate your product better. For the Romans trying to make their name developing games, they have no idea what they've done to themselves, all because of a Jim Sterling video. It's very depressing just to think about. Blaming other people doesn't excuse them from making subpar games. Making angry video responses and demanding compensation from a popular YouTuber doesn't excuse them from making subpar games. Many developers released several unplayable games, from the PC version of Batman Arkham Knight to Afro Samurai to Ashes Cricket 2013. They owned up to their mistakes, let their customers know they respect their negative opinions, and try to deliver with their next project. There comes a time where the Romans have to say, what we're doing isn't working, we need to spend more time with designing games, we need help with making our games, we need to venture into other possible platforms like web and iOS, but they're not doing that. In the time that they made 18 games for Steam Greenlight, they could have made 1 or 2 great games. It's not impossible. It's just sad that this is the direction they want to take. They're not going to get the money with that lawsuit. If they did get the lawsuit off the ground and got a lawyer, he probably only wants the case for the money because of how desperate the Romans come off as. I say that they would have had a case if they didn't make response videos calling Sterling a fucking moron and anything else that they threatened him with. It's a shame how adamant these guys are and that this is the direction they want to go in.